the place shut down.
There are ghost children possessing giant robots? Thanks for the heads up.
Technically, they're animatronics.
What do they want?
They want to make her like them.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2023 horror film Five Nights at Freddy's. The film was directed by Emma Tammy and it stars Josh Hutcherson, Piper Rubio, Elizabeth Lale, Matthew Lillard and Mary Stuart Masterson. Now this is of course based on the popular and very successful video game series Five Nights at Freddy's. This has been in the pipeline for a number of years. We even had a couple of years ago the Nicolas Cage homage or rip-off of this game, the Willy's Wonderland film, very, very similar storyline. And for those of you who don't know, this film focuses on Josh Hutcherson's character Mike, who is desperate and down on his luck. He needs a job fast because his money-grabbing aunt, if you like, Aunt Jane, is trying to steal his little sister from him, because she just basically wants the benefit checks from it and all that. He's trying to raise his little sister and he's struggling, so he gets given a job that nobody really wants, and it's working nights at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza as a security guard. Now, Freddy Fazbear's has been shut down for many, many years. There were some sinister things happened there many, many years ago. But he learns very quickly, Mike, that there is in fact some haunted animatronics at Freddy Fazbear's, and they have taken a real interest in his little sister, and it is up to him to try and figure out what is going on before they take him and his sister. Right, what are my thoughts on Five Nights at Freddy's? Well, I mean, what is there to say really about this film? What do I know about the video games, first of all? Well, obviously, if you follow my content, you know, obviously, I do play video games. Now, the Five Nights at Freddy's games, I'll be honest, I've never played for myself, if that makes sense. I used to play them with my son when he was younger. He was obsessed with Five Nights at Freddy's. He still, you know, knows an awful lot about them. He still does play the games occasionally, but he's 17 now. But he knows all about the lore and everything, you know what I mean? He was properly into Five Nights at Freddy's. So we used to play it together when he was young and have a few good, you know, scares with jump scares and stuff. So I know, obviously, of Five Nights at Freddy's. Now, although I'm not a purist or anything like that, I am sure there will be some Five Nights at Freddy's purists that will go into this that'll find fault with it. I'm not one of these that goes into films with that kind of baggage, even if I did know every detail of Five Nights at Freddy's. I think sometimes you've got to have a little bit different of a creative vision when you're creating a movie to a video game or a novel. You know, the different mediums, the different art forms, and you've got to kind of project things slightly differently for the big screen. However, saying that, from my perspective, I thought for the most part it was very, very respectful of the games, and that's probably not surprising because Scott Cawthon, who was the creator of the games, was a producer here. So he probably had an awful lot of input in regards to how the film projected his product, obviously. But I thought this actually was better than I expected it to be. I thought it was just going to be like a brainless movie where you just shove someone in here and then you get a few cheap jump scares and he gets attacked by animatronics and, you know, he manages to survive and comes out at the end of it. And in actual fact, we get a much different film than that. It's multi-layered in actual fact. And it's not set over one night as well, which kind of surprised me. I thought it was going to be like set over one night, but I think the clue's in the title, Five Nights at Freddy's. And the first couple of nights, you know, nothing particularly sinister happens. And very similar to the games, you know, the longer you last, the more tense things get. But each time he kind of goes back, it ramps up a little bit, the scares and things like that. And then especially when his little sister starts joining him on the nights. But what surprised me was, away from Freddy Fazbear's, like during the day and stuff, the film actually made a real attempt to give us characters to connect to, and give us some form of anchor and heart to the movie. And that's what we get with Mike and Abby, you know, the big brother and little sister. They give Mike the backstory of, you know, he lost a younger brother years ago, kind of abducted. He blames himself for that, so he's desperate to find out who did that, and he thinks he can find out by being at Freddy Fazbear's as well. You know, when he starts seeing that there's some weird stuff going on, he feels that can be his connection to finding out what happened to his younger brother. So that kind of answers the question as to why he's going back as well, because you would question why anybody would go back. And then, of course, you get the obligatory people breaking into the venue, you know, who are going to... Because you need to be able to see, really, you know, what these animatronics are all about and what their agenda is and how dangerous are they. And you do get to see that a number of times in the film. And I have to say as well, I thought they were brilliantly realised for the big screen. They're smartly kept away from CGI, certainly for the most part. My understanding is it was the Jim Henson Creature Shop that designed all of the animatronics and stuff for the film, and they look fantastic. They really do. And they do come across as quite sinister. And in keeping with the game, there are definitely a handful of what you would describe as effective jump scares. And for those of you who know the game and play the game, you know that game is all about jump scares, basically. That's all it's really got going for it, if I'm honest. But yeah, I had a pretty good time with this film. It's doing remarkably well. I think my understanding as well of this film is it's the most successful opening for a Blumhouse movie yet. I think so far it's done nearly 80 million in its first weekend in the US, and I think it's up to about 130 million worldwide. So this is definitely a hit. So we can certainly expect more of these, I would suggest. And I think if they continue down the path of what we get here, and you know, deliver another thoughtful but entertaining follow-up to this movie, then I would enjoy to see more of these. I'm not going to lie. I have noticed that there are some, obviously, negativity out there towards this film and stuff. And again, you know, you're never going to please everybody all the time. But I genuinely found this an entertaining watch. And it was a little bit smarter than I thought it was going to be. And it gave us characters that we could actually connect to and care about. Is there a level of predictability to it? Yes, there is. But at the same time, I still enjoyed watching what the film chose to give me. So, yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by this. I thought it was always going to be a decent watch, but this was a little bit better than I was expecting it to be. So, yeah, I certainly fans of the game. I think it's a no-brainer. You need to check it out. I think they've been pretty respectful to the game. I think they've transferred the best they could onto the big screen from a video game, and that's never an easy thing to do, to, you know, adapt a video game, especially one as that's got very little to it. You have to say it really about the Five Nights at Freddy games. There's not an awful lot to those games. They are just a series of jump scares, and how Scott Cawthon has managed to keep the game going and interesting over all these years is actually quite nothing short of a miracle, really, because, you know, there isn't a great deal to them games. But yeah, I enjoyed my time with it. I would definitely recommend checking this one out if you like a fairly nicely polished, good production values, and some pretty effective moments in the film as well. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed checking out this review. I will, of course, be back with more reviews and content on the channel very, very soon.